Good afternoon, friends, followers, and channel members. Hope you are all doing well. So, version 2 then, or is it version 1 and a bit? Whatever. It is version 2. Version 2, block 1 of the Fenix, of course, dropped yesterday. We haven't had a chance yet to fly it live on stream, so today is the day. One of the big things is the overall handling of the aircraft, as well as the performance with regards to PC performance. So we are taking our aircraft down today from Edinburgh to Jersey. I've just realised I've not filled in all the information on the overhead. Let me just sort that out. But yeah, we're heading down to Jersey today, where the winds aren't particularly strong, only about 10-12 knots, something like that. But it's a nice crosswind that's forecast a little bit later on. So that's basically what I'm looking at, because crosswind landings were never very reliable in the Fenix, so that's going to be my plan today. See if we can decrab nicely. We have that little bit of aileron authority if we need it as well. So yeah, fingers crossed. That is going to be nice for us today. So we'll be able to chat as well how you guys have found the update as well during the flight today as well, and fingers crossed all will go well. So welcome, guys, welcome to the chat. Good afternoon. I love a Friday afternoon live. It's a nice chilled out end to the week, and it's a route that we're pretty familiar with, so the briefings don't perhaps need to be quite as in depth as they sometimes are. And of course, one of the other things to mention is the fact that the weather is that poor. There's a chance we might not even get into Jersey today, just because the visibility is has a slight chance to be of being absolutely rubbish. So we'll be buggering off to Bristol or somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to have a look. We'll get the operational flight plan out in a moment. But that is also pinned in this chat as well if you're watching on YouTube. So welcome, guys. As always, a huge welcome and thanks to our channel members. Hey, Mark, Jigjag, Lee, JC, Carl, Barry Bartson, good afternoon. Hey, Elliot. Hey, Ace, Raisin Zaki, good to see you as well. Nigel Spencer, good afternoon. Hey, J-Hog, hope you're doing well. You're in Cornwall with the Mackie D's. You know where I live, mate. Make sure you come and drop me off a large chocolate milkshake on your way past. In fact, I can now press the cabin crawl button, doesn't it? That works in the Fenix, so yeah, you'll be able to you can be my cabin crew. And a shout out to those of you watching on Twitch as well. Hey, Pilot Nerd, no problem, mate. Glad you enjoyed the video. Hope it works well. It says landing with a 30-knot crosswind is now no problem anymore. Brilliant. Well, that's what I'm hoping for going forward. Hey, Klaus Grutter, good afternoon. J-Hog, if you want to bring me one, that is entirely up to you. Doors unlocked. Come and let yourself in. The first officer will let you in. Right, well, let's have a look then at our operational flight plan, shall we? Let's get that up here. Where are we? There we are. Fantastic. So, oh, look at that, 10 minutes. My cabin crew is going to be boarding the aircraft, and a large chocolate milkshake is going to be dropped off at the same time. Awesome. Service. Alright, so the great thing as well now, our passenger payload is obviously increased. This airframe holds 180 passengers, which perhaps not so much of a issue on this flight because it's not a very long flight, but when we're doing really long flights now, you know, where we're taking loads of extra fuel, then you don't have much room to play with, you know, the underload. We're nearly 5 ton underloaded here, but if we're going to be going long distance where you're loading sort of 12 tons of fuel, then, and the weather's not quite so good, then other factors start to come into play, don't they? Not the case today though, thankfully, but it's great to know that we're now more akin to an Easyjet airframe than, say, British Airways or one of the other high-cost carriers. Paul Newman says the sounds are definitely better with this new update as well. I love the new sounds. I do think they are really nice. Edinburgh Control 56. I am very well, thank you. Good to have you on stream. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward. The shear rate, that is the highest shear rate I've seen for a while. That's at the top of climb, 7.6. That's worth a bit of a note. It's getting close to 8. You know, anything above 8 and you're starting to think that could be a little bit rough for the cabin crew back there, so you may spill your drinks around that point. I don't even know where top of climb is. So what we do then is just go down here, find top of climb. So yeah, basically, so you'd be saying 20 minutes time. You might want to just wait 20 minutes before you start that service just to see how the area is like. Otherwise, you could end up getting thrown about, and the seatbelt signs might be on anyway. So there you are. So everything there's normal. Look at that headwind. Nice headwind slowing us down. Goes on 1 Charlie departure, runway 24, expecting the Scary 1 Lima arrival. I'm actually going to change that. We're going to do the Scary 1 Juliet. The Scary 1 Lima takes us south and then back north. This is just straight in from the north. But either way, ILS runway 26, 498 miles. Plug fuel is around 7.5 tons. The terrain, don't need to worry about that. There's none of that. And then, yeah, now look at this. This is what I was talking about with some pretty poor weather. So, yeah, there's only about a 10 knot crosswind at the moment. But look at those, look at the weather. The ceiling, 100. Visibility is 200.
Ground to cockpit.
Hang on. They want to start loading, don't they? Go ahead.
Hi Captain, just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done.
Okay, thank you, Roger. Talvin, before we even get into the flight deck, thank you so much, Talvin, for your very kind super chat kicking us off today, saying flying with us today, Fenix in XC334. Hope you have a nice flight as well, Talvin. Thank you so much for the support. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, so these minimums here are the weather there is a little bit well. Let's see what the sim does when we get down there. We'll give it a go. We've got enough fuel to get in and give it a go, but we're not going to be taking plug fuel. And then if that doesn't work, well then Bristol, Gatwick, Stansted and Southampton are the alternates. So definitely worth taking some extra fuel because of that. Might not make it because of that. Let's have a look at the weather brief then. So let's see what Jersey's got involved for us at the moment. So at the moment it's not too bad. Tempo is perhaps visibility a bit down to 5,000 meters. Light rain and drizzle, broken 500. But here you go. There's the tempo between 12 and 1800 hours. That visibility down to 200 meters with drizzle and fog and broken 100. Are we going to see the lights? Well, at least I know they'll be working in the scenery. Gatwick is much better. Stansted is much better. Southampton, Bristol, got no real concerns of getting in there. They're all fine. If we have a look at the flight route, there it is. There's the jet stream giving us the headwind down there, and again a bit turbulent, hence the shear rate. So, what fuel are we going to take? Well, not plug fuel, that's for sure. So when we've got something daft like that happening, and we've got loads of space to load extra fuel as well, then we can probably throw in an extra ton. Now remember, what we can't do in the sim at the moment is get a regulated landing weight. Now that's important because Jersey is not a very long runway. So let's just take a look at this. I'm going to be lazy here, it's a Friday. I'll just quickly grab a calculator on my phone so I don't have to think about it. So if we want to take 6, yeah, so if we want to take 7.5 tons, so we're throwing an extra ton on then, aren't we? Actually, I don't need a calculator, the maths is going to be easy. So if we want to throw in an extra ton, or even an extra 1.5 tons, let's call it, yeah, let's call it 8 tons of fuel. So we're going to tell the ground we're going to take 8 tons of fuel. Plug is 6.5, which is an extra 1.5 tons. We're going to land, our estimated landing weight is 58.9. Let's call that 59. Plus the extra 1.5 tons we're going to take. Well then, that means our landing weight is looking to be around 60.5. We can be conservative with that as well if we wish and roll that up to 61. So let's do a dispatch landing calculation. Let's say we're going to land in Jersey, 61 tons, and of course the runway's wet. So Echo Golf Juliet Juliet. Get rid of that. Runway 26. Let's grab the live METAR. There you can see the live METAR at the moment. So, yeah, so a nice 9-knot crosswind at the moment is variable. Visibility at the moment is actually absolutely fine, but there is vicinity of showers, few clouds 3,000, scattered 800. So you can see it's sort of getting worse, and this is also a bit of a telltale sign here. Look, so temperature's 20, but also the dew point's 20. So chances are it's going to get misty and foggy. So if we apply that landing weight, let's say 61, didn't we? Let's pop that in there. Whoa, that shot straight off. So let's go with auto brake medium. Okay, max manual, max reverse, and auto thrust on. So yeah, that means we should be able to stop. We can get in there. Now, I've been really over the top there. Really, we should, you know, if we want to put it to the letter, I'm looking at 60.5, so that should affect it just a little bit. It looks a fraction better. But either way, we've done a dispatch landing calculation, and with all of that in there, we should be able to get in. Now, I don't actually think we need an extra 1.5 tons. I reckon maybe 1.2 tons extra is going to be fine, which would take this down even more. So I think either way, we're going to be safe to have a go and get in. Right, what are the guys and girls in the back one? Hello.
Hi, Captain. We're ready to start boarding. Are we okay to begin?
Yeah, you can start boarding passengers.
No worries. I'll get the rest of the crew organised, and we'll make a start in a couple of minutes once the passengers start arriving from the terminal. All stations, we're about to start boarding.
Okay, so they're getting themselves sorted. Where were we? So yeah, I'm happy with that. With regards to what fuel we're going to take, then, do we need an extra 1.5 tons of fuel? Probably not. Let's go with, let's take 1.3 tons extra, which, and the only reason I'm not saying we're going to take 1.5 is because if the weather got worse down there, you know, the runway, by the time we just come into land, there's a really heavy downpour, so the braking distance isn't quite as good. The braking action, sorry, is not quite as good. But we don't need loads of fuel, because if we decide, no, forget this, we're going somewhere else, it's not a long journey to go somewhere else, is it? And the weather at all the other places are pretty good. So let's go with, let's take 7.7 tons of fuel. I'll tell the ground crew in a moment that that's what we want to load, and then that's us done. Let's have a quick look at the charts, make sure we know what we're doing with those. So where are we? Yeah, Edinburgh runway 24 departure. So we're here, we're at stand 7, I think the jet is at today. Where's that? Yeah. Interesting to note as well, if you are coming to Edinburgh anytime soon, stands 102 through to 99, they are closed, and this taxi line's actually moved because they're doing some works down here. Yeah, so a straightforward departure out, isn't it? We might be able to take Charlie, depends how heavy we are. And then on the GOSM departure, just look what we're going to program into the box when we get there. So we've got the uniform whiskey NDB. I don't think we really need to throw anything else in there, do we? I think there's an Edinburgh NDB, isn't it? EDI, which is used for the engine out procedure, if memory serves. Let me just have a quick look at that. Where are you? EDN, sorry, EDN. So a couple of things to program in the box once I get in there, but there's no speed constraints, so don't need to worry about that. And that all looks fine. I think we've also got some air traffic control on board as well. So let's go find our jet, shall we? As I say, I think the passengers are currently getting loaded in. Here we are then. So we could walk up here. Let's get in. Right, good enough. So then, first flight for us today means we'll just go through as we relieve the previous crew. So nav lights, they're done. Spoilers, flaps, parking brake, acupressures in the green. Wonderful. Crew's loading down there. We can see all the doors are open, so that's fine. Have a quick look. We might be able to see them doing their work. There they are. Ooh, is that a Brussels A330? Nice. There's a British Airways just parking up on stand as well. Okay, yeah, that's all good then. Right, let's go through, set up the other stuff. So now I'm in the aircraft. I think we've got some ATC. Let's have a listen. 13135.
H1010. Acknowledge receipt of information, Bravo. And advise aircraft type on first contact.
Okay, let's just quickly get the rest of that. I think ground crew want to speak to me as well.
Edinburgh information, Bravo. Time 1250 Zulu. Runway in use 24. Transition level flight level 75. Surface winds 240 degrees 14 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers, or more light showers of rain. Scattered 4,000 feet, temperature +20, dew point +13, QNH1010. Acknowledge receipt of information, Bravo. And advise aircraft type on first.
Strange way of saying bravo on that. Anyway, we've got what we need. So, here come the passengers. 1010, it's fine. And just check, yeah, guard frequency's on and being monitored. 1010 constraints. So that initial climb here as well, which is 6,000. So that's done. Quick look at the overhead. I think that's fine. Packs are off, pumps are off. Wonderful. Okay, so just whilst we're doing that, then I just want to get our aircraft loaded. I think ground crew wanted us for a moment, didn't they? So cockpit to ground.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We're
That was
waiting
quick.
for you to close up. Once the beacon light is switched on, we'll contact you to begin pushback.
Okay, roger. So we're going to be taking 7.7 tons of fuel. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total souls count. Plus yourselves, of course.
All right, thank you.
Ground to cockpit.
My pleasure.
Go ahead.
Hi there. We're now refueling the aircraft and we'll let you know once it's completed.
Okay, roger. We can see the refuel panels open as well, so that's fine. Captain Q, if you've imported a FS Realistic profile, then you don't need to do it every time. It should just remain. It should automatically load when you load the aircraft. Edinburgh Control, I never fly an IVO. No, I'm always on VATSIM. Right, let's go through all this then. So IRS 3 nav greens. Aircraft status, CFMs, and the valid air cycle. Wonderful. Okay, let's do an request and start getting this set up.
Ground to cockpit.
No problem.
And go ahead, ground.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fuel requested.
Easyjet service. Please place your large bags
Roger.
into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free, and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag,
Right, let's get all this in then.
help
So
us ensure
35921. Flipping it, ground. I need a PA for this.
enabling all remaining customers.
Hello, ground. Go ahead.
Your seatbelt can now be fastened, ready for departure. This is a no
Hi
smoking
there.
zone.
Just to let you know that we've started
Observing
fueling the
space.
aircraft. We'll let you know as soon as it's completed.
Okay, roger. I thought that had already been done, to be honest with you. They're not going to refuel it twice, are they? Oh, just bear with me 1 second, guys. Hey guys, for those of you that know J-Hog's literally just walked into the flight deck. He can be the purser. Well, he's brought me a nice, he's brought me a McDonald's milkshake. Legend. I don't know if you can hear him. Give him a shout, J-Hog.
Afternoon all.
There you go. That's going to melt by the time I get out of here, isn't it? It's going to... do you know what? I'm going to move that over to the other side of the desk because it's going to get condensation on it and it's just going to drip all over the controls, which I don't really want. Alright, let's continue setting this box up. Everything, just check those. What we got? 9092. There's a bit of difference in those. Let me just quickly check what they are. J-Hog, you seem to have upset my first officer. Yeah, no, Lex, it's Captain Relish. It's not J-Hog, is it? Captain Relish. Yeah, that's Dan. Right, where are we? We're stand 7, so 55, 56, 9. 55, 56, 9.
Ground to cockpit.
Ground, go ahead. Okay, they're fine.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fueled as requested.
Aircraft fuel, thank you. Okay, so our cruise flight level today is flight level 370 and temperature of 46. Let's get the flight plan in then. So, we're expecting runway 24 for departure. Goes M1 Charlie. That'll go in. There we are. And then at the other end, it's the scary arrival. I do love that. So, ILS 26. And scary. I said on the flight plan we've got scary 1 Lima. I'm going to change that to scary 1 Juliet just because it's a slightly quicker approach. There we are. Let's insert that. And then I'm just going to have a quick look on the display, see what that's like, to see if that's sequenced correctly. See if we need a veer in there. So yeah, the departure, that looks fine. And then the arrival at the other end. There we go. Got discontinuity there. I have to clear that out. There we are. So that's 463 miles. What have I got on the flight plan? We've got 498 miles. So that's a little bit shorter. Actually, that's quite a bit shorter, but the routing looked okay. So I'll take that. RadNav page then, a couple of NDBs which we discussed in the briefing room. We've got uniform whiskey. And then should we lose an engine on departure, oops, I'm trying to put that as a VOR, that won't work. Uniform whiskey, and then we need the EDN for the engine out procedure should we need to enter the hold. Okay, that's done. Alright, init B page. We should have got the load sheet then. Ground crew said we got it. Let's bob across here and see if that's come through. There we go, preliminary load sheet. So zero fuel weight is 56.2. And CFG, just accept that. CFG is 31.4. Now, of course, these may have changed ever so slightly from what you're used to. Now we've got an aircraft capable of seating 180 passengers. Fuel for the alternate. Well, I'm going to nominate. There was 4. I think the primary was Gatwick. Just double check. Yeah, primary was Gatwick, but actually I'm going to have a look at Bristol because it's although Gatwick actually is slightly shorter, but Bristol is probably a little easy to get into. Gatwick, obviously busy airport. What have we got on here? So alternate one for, yeah, so that's the Gatwick fuel with CNR 2.6. All right, well we'll go with Gatwick then. Which is 1.5. Let's just be conservative. We'll go 1.6. Okay, fuel planning. We've loaded 7.7 tons. What's the box say? It wants... Oh, it wants 6.3. We've got loads to play with. And that gives us then a take-off weight of 63.7. And we've got an extra 40 minutes. So that's plenty to get up to... plenty of time extra to get up to either Bristol or Gatwick should we require it. Okay, let's do the perf then. Now if you remember in the ATIS it just said there was some light rain, so whilst that's not present in the sim it could be by the time we're rolling. So let's go with 2 for wet runway, flaps 1, Don't need any of those. Takeoff weight is 637. The C of G is 29.7. Crap the live weather. So can we take intersection Charlie? Will it allow that today? We're not that heavy. It will allow Charlie, actually. That just saves us a bit of time on the taxi, so it's obviously just there rather than having to go all the way down. So I'll go with that. Let's pop that info into the box then. So V1 is, where have you gone? 116. Big difference between V1, VR and V2 because it's we've gone for wet figures. So we need more stopping distance. 40. Transition altitude at Edinburgh is 6,000 feet. That's fine. And then we have got flex of 58. Flaps 1. Get rid of that. Clean is 213 in the box. That's fine. Right, thrust reduction acceleration values. We'll have a look at SimSmart for that. CG PH 24. Grab that meta. Remember, of course, it actually doesn't matter what you put into SimSmart. SimSmart is an A320 Neo calculator, so perfect for the fly-by-wire A32NX, but use it for the Fenix to get the thrust reduction acceleration values and engine out procedure. So, new Easyjet SOPs now have an acceleration altitude and thrust reduction altitude of 800 feet, so AGL, so this is based on 1,000, so this is now going to be 1224. So 1224. 1224, and the engine out acceleration also 1224. There we go. Okay, secondary flight plan. Copy the active. So it's non-standard, straight out, and then it's a right-hand turn, 320 knots maximum, back to the EDN. Okay, just so we're not spending loads of time filling this out, I'm not going to create an extra waypoint. I'm just going to go EGPH. And then out on track 240, which is our departure track. Pop that. Oh, what am I doing? It's a non-standard. Forget that. That's what we'd do if it was standard. So non-standard is 8 miles from ITH, which is the ILS DME, isn't it? Can't remember if we can actually pop that in. Let's just have a go. ITH and pop that at 240 and 8 miles. See if that will go in. Oh yes, it will. There it is, right at the top of the box. Look, so that's fine. And then normally I'd put in a waypoint to force the right-hand turn. So that's place bearing distance 01. Force the aircraft to fly right, so it wants to fly to the north. Just pop that in a couple of miles away, and then EDN, which is the holding waypoint. Get that in there. Enter the hold. Inbound course is 241. Left turns. Done. And then, of course, if we've lost an engine, we're not going to Jersey. So Echo Golf Papa Hotel back to Edinburgh, arriving ILS 24, no start, no Viet. Done. Let's check that then on the display. Let's see what that looks like. There we are, so straight out, forcing the right hand turn, entering the hold, and then we've got the ILS approach built in. So I think that's everything. Whew. JR gets getting warm in here. Yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to have air conditioning in here, but it'll probably only get used about 4 times. If you open the door, the first officer runs in and starts barking, so we can't do that. But But yeah, awesome. Right, that's done. That's done. Passengers are still boarding. Refueling looks like it's finished. We're late for departure. So let's go through our brief. And I think we'll be about ready to go then. So, starting with the weather, which we just got. So, departure winds 240 at 14, so pretty much on the nose. Visibility is fine. There's light rain apparently. Can't see any in the sim, but there we are. Scatter clouds 4,000. QNH is 1010. Weather en route looks fine. We've got a nice headwind though towards us. And remember that shear rate's in about 20 minutes after departure, so might be a bit bumpy until we get up to cruise. And then once we come in at Jersey, we're just going to keep a good eye on the weather down at Jersey because the weather and the mist seems to be rolling in. So if we can get in or not, we'll have a good go. But Jersey's not certified for autolands, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. So we'll have to see if we can get in, depending on what's happening when we get down there. Aircraft is A320. Only thing in the tech log is the weather radar doesn't work. I know a lot of people was hoping with the version 2 of the Fenix working, then the weather radar would come with that. Sadly, that's not the case. We need a Zobo to fix that, not the Fenix. As soon as the Zobo allow that to happen, then it'd be great. But sadly, until then, we're without. No times for the departure today that are going to affect us. Threats to be aware of, not too many here at Edinburgh. Even though we've got the non-standard engine out procedure, terrain-wise, it's not too bad at all. If I can just find a better chart to depict that. Yeah, so we've got terrain to the south. This is the reason that why in an engine out procedure we're forced to go right and not left, because say if we were really, really heavy and we were climbing out on one engine, we're not going to climb too fast, then this could be a bit of an issue. So yeah, a little bit of terrain to the south, but other than that, it's all fine. So MSA as we depart is 39 around the aerodrome. Let's go through the box and confirm what we're doing and how we're doing it. Starting with the taxi. So we are parked stand 7, push back facing northeast on Foxtrot onto Alpha. We'll tell them we can take Charlie. So a very short taxi, which then becomes a little bit of a threat. So we'll just make sure we're ahead of ourselves, and if we need to stop the aircraft for whatever reason, we'll do that to complete our checks. And then we're on the Gozan 1 Charlie departure, which we confirm in the box. So runway 24, Gozan 1 Charlie departure. No speed constraints or anything like that. Initial climb is up to 6,000 feet, and we've got that already set. Radnav is set to EDN and Uniform Whiskey in the NDBs. Progress page level 370 is planned. Optimum is 350, but we can get up to 37 because it's below the recommended max. Takeoff weight is estimated 63.7 tons. Looking to land with 4.1 tons of fuel on board if we need to get them there, if we make it. And the secondary flight plan has the engine out procedure in, which we've already gone through and briefed as we were doing it. So I think pretty happy to get going. So I think all the passengers are now on. Ground crew are happy. So with a bit of luck, we'll contact ATC, get our clearance, and then we're good to go. So ATC, are they still online? Let me just have a quick check. Yeah, 12175. Let's give them a call. And do you know what? Just before I make this call, I'm going to enjoy a nice slurp of my milkshake. Oh, that's a good one. Occasionally, for you guys that drink McDonald's milkshakes, just occasionally you get the milkshake when they've obviously just restocked the chocolate part of it, and it's really sweet. It's diabetes in a cup. This, it's gorgeous. Cheers, Captain Relish. Oh, you've been with Dark Fury today as well? Yeah. Excellent. Well, J-Hog, or Captain Relish as you know him, has actually been helping my dad build a shed. Is it built yet?
It's built. He nearly killed us both, but it's built.
You decided to build it on the hottest day of the summers. We've only had the one, and you picked that day. Is it still standing? Yeah. Excellent. Right, let's call ATC. Edinburgh ground, good afternoon, Easy 305, stand 7, Type A320 requesting IFR clearance as far to Jersey, and we have Bravo.
C305, good afternoon, cleared Jersey by the Golf 1 Charlie departure, squawk 7742, current information Charlie.
Cleared by the Goes 1 Charlie, squawk 7742, and we'll check information Charlie for Easy 305.
Easy 305, read back correct.
Good stuff, right, 7742. Wonderful. Right, I want to get that APU started, so let's just call ground, cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We're going to be starting the APU.
Roger. We'll monitor the startup from down here and let you know if we see anything untoward.
Roger. Starting. And hello.
Hi there, Captain. All of the passengers are now on board.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Company message, so it looks like we've got our final load sheet as well. Let's check to see if we've got any LMCs or last minute changes. 63.8, 128 passengers, 4 infants, and takeoff CFG is 27.6. Ooh. 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's 0.1 out. Right, let me just redo the performance calculations. You've got a 2% limit, except it's now changed. So, 27.6. Let's just recalculate. See if that's changed anything. 116, 140, 140, that's fine. Flex is still 58. Flaps 1. No, it hasn't changed anything, so that's fine. Okay, APU is now available. Let's disconnect the external power. Pumps can come on. And so can seatbelt signs. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
I can now disconnect the GPU.
Roger. Stand by. Ground power has been disconnected.
Okay, Roger, thanks. So we're going to get the engine started soon on pushback, and all the sounds have now changed, haven't they, with the Fenix, so they sound really, really nice. Looking forward to that. When I do the ground start and the engine start, I might just mute the voice so you guys can listen to that. Right, okay, so let's do a cockpit preparation checklist. Aircraft acceptance has been completed. Fuel quantity is 7.7 tons. It's loaded and balanced. Yep, just double checking that. Seatbelt signs are on. Ideas, we've got 3.5 green, the bar of QNH 1010. And I'm just double checking QNH information. Charlie is actually 1009, so let's just change that. And with that, wouldn't actually need to do this, but as we added some LMCs, let me just refresh the weather. How'd we get that? There we go. Single live weather. Oh, it was already 1009. That's fine. So that's sorted. All right, wonderful. So let's welcome our passengers on board. Welcome on board, ladies and gentlemen, to this Easyjet flight Edinburgh down to Jersey. We're cruising today, flight level 350, and we shouldn't have too much more of a departure delay. No traffic in front of us, so we should have a normal taxi time. We're also going to try and take a little shortcut for you as well to make up some of the time spent here on the ground. Our departure weather is absolutely fine, so should be straightforward with no lumps or bumps. Straight out departure with no en route delays, so if you can please take your seats, make sure you're securely fastened, and pay attention to the ground crew. Thank you. Right, that's them done. They're happy. And let's call GSX over then.
Routine, ready to continue with clearance.
I think we've just interrupted someone's clearance there, so we'll let them finish.
Flybus 2502, Roger. Standby 1 sec. And Flybus 2502, gonna need you on an odd level, correction, even level, to like flight level 280, flight 260.
I will take 280, please, Flybus 2502.
Flybus 2502, Roger. Cleared Vega by the Grace 3 Charlie departure, Squawk 7254.
Cleared to destination on Grace 3 Charlie departure, squawk code 7254, Flybus 2502.
Flybus 2502, read back correct, QH 1009, and can you just report your stand number, please?
Currently in the GA parking, stand 315.
This reminds me all the time just how late I am.
Flybus 2502, Roger, thank you.
And ground Easy 305, stand 7 is ready for departure.
Easy 305, Roger, stand 7, push and start approved, face north.
Push and start approved, facing north for Easy 305.
And Easy 305, actually hold position, an
Ground
aircraft pushing behind you, which is just pushed onto your stand, or a beam your stand now, so I can't push you now.
Roger, no problem. We'll hold position and wait for the call. Easy 305.
Edinburgh ground Easy 334 is ready for pushback.
Copy to ground, go ahead.
Stand 2, push and start approved.
Push and start approved Easy 334.
We're ready to disconnect.
Okay, thanks. Pin straight ahead. So obviously, just whilst we've been setting everything up, guys, I haven't been paying too much attention to the chat, so I do apologise for that. But once we're in cruise, if you have asked a question that I haven't answered, then please do ask again.
T2 with information Charlie, QNH 1009, request IFR clearance to Gatwick.
Tom Jet 176, Roger, cleared Gatwick via the Golf Sam 1 Charlie departure, Squawk 0512.
Cleared to Gatwick vehicle for 1 Charlie departure, walking 0512, Tom Jet 176.
Tom Jet 176, feedback correct.
Speedbird 361, what would be my initial altitude?
Speedbird 361, it's 6,000, it's on the chat.
That could be 6,000 people.
Bombtech, which extra waypoints are you referring to there?
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures.
Hey, Yorkshire
on this
Simmer, yeah,
aircraft.
self-loading cargo's
A
running
safety
as well.
card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle.
Delta 225, Roger, taxi, holding point Delta 1, runway 24 by Foxtrot Alpha.
Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you.
Taxing to Delta 1 via Foxtrot and Alpha, and Delta 225.
And DG 305 after the Delta 737 passes. Behind you, stand 7, push and start approved, face north.
After the crossing of the Delta 737, we're cleared for push and start facing north, Easy 305.
Speedbird 361, ready to taxi.
Speedbird 361, Roger, taxi, 100.0 Lima 1.
Well, that's something you don't see every day. A Delta 737 at Edinburgh in Scotland.
Taxi, 100.0 Lima 1.
Will be Speedbird 361, taxi holding point Vanilla.
Speedbird 361, confirm taxi, holding point Lima 1.
Taxi to holding point Lima 1, Speedbird 361. Edinburgh ground Easy 334 is ready for taxi.
We also carry
Easy 334, roger, taxi, 20 Alpha 14 by Echo and Alpha.
and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight.
Right, okay, let's do the before start checklist. So parking brake is on, takeoff data confirmed, windows are closed, EFP is on flight mode, doors are closed and armed, and the beacon light is on. Right, GSX, why are you not pushing us? What are they doing? Or not doing? Is it because the stairs are still there, do we reckon? If in which case, why are the stairs still there?
And Speedbird 361 after the Delta 737 passes from left to right on Alpha. You continue taxi 100 Delta 1 by Lima and Alpha.
So after Delta 737 passes, left to
No,
right,
chocks removed,
taxis will be
GPUs disconnected.
Delta 1 via Lima Alpha, Speedbird 361.
Alright. What are you doing, GSX? Why can't we go anywhere? Waiting for other services to complete. Refueling. Refueling is completed. Right, okay.
Requesting push and start.
D121.
Let's just tell ATC we might just have a 60-second delay while they sort themselves out.
Push start approved, D121 November.
And Easy 305, just for information, we were just going to have another minute delay on the push.
Easy 301, correction Easy 305, roger, that's fine.
So I'll just give GSX a moment. Yeah, for some reason it thought we were still refueling. We definitely weren't.
Edinburgh, Easy 334, past Alpha 14 and all places. So
hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the cabin is secure for
234, roger, that's fine. You can
okay, thank you.
Taxi 100
Let me
Delta
know
1
when you're ready to take
via
off,
Alpha.
and I'll get the crew seated and secured.
Continue taxi Delta 1 via Alpha Easy 334, thank you.
Roger, will do.
Delta 225, contact Edinburgh Tower, 118.7, have a good flight.
118.7 for Delta 225.
Roger Rob, thank you so much for the Prime sub, and we've got A3 resubbing for 2 months on Prime as well. Amazing, thank you so much, guys.
Edinburgh Tower, 118.7, have a good flight.
Ah, they're in place now, I'm ready for push. Fantastic. White Eagle, are they on strike? Maybe. Oh, that milkshake's really hitting the spot.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
And Easy 334, you can contact Edinburgh Tower, 118.7, have a good flight.
Tower 118.7, thanks for this. Bye bye.
So get the tower frequency on 118.7. We're facing north, aren't we? So nose to the left, yeah.
Locking gear.
Andres, yeah, using FS Realistic. Welcome, guys, if you are just coming in. If you haven't done so already, please do consider hitting the like button on the stream. It does make a massive difference to the channel, so would appreciate that if you haven't already done so. Amazing Maze, I do recommend self-loading cargo. I've never used PackX though, so I can't compare the two, I'm afraid.
Release parking brakes, please.
And parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Nose wheel stings disconnected.
Edinburgh ground, this is Flybus
Start timer.
2502, stand
Engine mode selected to
315.
ignition, starting
Wanna
engine 1.
confirm if I'm okay, just to get my King Air in a good spot and cleared for engine start.
Flybus 252.
They've not managed to sort that out, have they? That's a shame.
Start approved, Flybus 2502.
I do feel like the backlighting on the FCU does seem a bit dark. Is that turned up to full? It is, isn't it? One of the things I love about GSX is the pushback. Nails it pretty much every time, particularly with custom profiles. Parking brake set.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Alitair, the side stick settings are literally just linear with a very slight dead zone in the middle, just for if I've got my hand rested on it. Pedro, do I feel any difference in the FPS level with the Fenix version 2? A little bit, yeah. Not a massive amount, but remember everyone's setup is a bit different, isn't it? So.
Edinburgh ground, Tomjet 176.
Engine 1 is stable, starting engine 2.
Tomjet 176, Roger, stand 22, push into that field to face north.
Push inside the field facing north, Tomjet 176.
So when we do the takeoff roll, I'm just going to be quiet so you guys can hear the new sounds.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Right, here he goes. Tugs disappeared. We've had confirmation left clear, right clear. Engine 2 spooling up. And remember, we're going to tell them that we can, if they're going to permit us, we can take Charlie, just for a slightly shorter tax then, isn't it? So Foxtrot and Charlie. There he is, giving us a little wave. So, engine 2 is available. So, engine mode selector back to normal. That can come off, that can come off. And spoilers, flaps, rudder, set our trim. And the after start checklist, so anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, should just have the pack, there we are. Pitch trim is 27.6 and rudder is neutral. Okay, flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. Awesome. Ground EZ305 is ready for taxi and we can take Charlie today.
EZ305, Roger, taxi, 100 point Charlie 1 via Foxtrot Alpha and Charlie.
Charlie 1 via Foxtrot Alpha Charlie for EZ305.
Ground EZ121 November, ready requesting taxi.
EZ121 November, Roger, taxi, 100 point Delta 1, runway 24 via Echo Foxtrot and Alpha.
Taxi 1 point Delta 1, runway 24
we've now got to do the
via
cabin
Echo
check, haven't we?
Foxtrot and Alpha, EZ121 November.
How very fly-by-wire. We're also rolling as well without any thrust, idle thrust. How very fly-by-wire. Okay, so the cabin check's now done. Cabin crew, seats for takeoff, please. Okay, quick ped check. We had the LMCs. We've redone the perf calculation. We've got wet figures from Charlie. Looks like it's nice and dry anyway, so that's fine. Engine out procedure is non-standard, 8 miles from the ILS DME. It's a right-hand turn, then enter the hold, get safe at 4,000 feet, which is 100 feet above MSA. Departure goes on 1 Charlie, noise abatement 2, straight out, and our initial climb is 6,000. FPT, yeah, just hit the to complete the cabin check. Just hit the button on the overhead, and then they'll ding it back when they're ready. Stupid tug driver, playing chicken with a 60-ton jet.
305, contact Edinburgh Tower, 118.7, thanks for flight.
Over to Tower 118.7. Thanks for the service, EZ305.
Right.
Tower EZ305 is approaching Charlie 1.
EZ305, Roger, hold Charlie 1.
Hold Charlie 1 for EZ305. That's fine, we're going to tell we need them a moment anyway. So, taxi checklist. Flight controls have been checked. Flap setting config 1. FMA is climb nav blue 1FD2 6000 blue. Radar and predictive wind shear is on. ECAM memo, we have takeoff no blue and EFB
EZ305, Charlie, runway 24 clear for takeoff, surface wind 220 degrees 18 knots.
Clear takeoff, runway 24 EZ305. Let's go, lineup checklist. Oh my word.
You fat fucking slob! Would you say? Don't you dare onto you, that insolent tongue of yours, you fat fuck! Don't you dare onto you, that insolent tongue of yours, you fat fucking slob! Would you say? Don't you dare onto you, that insolent tongue of yours, you fat fucking slob!
Okay.
Don't you dare onto you, that
I've just killed the desktop audio for the moment. You'll still be able to hear me. Goodness me. What you can't tell, guys, that's still going on. Can you guys still hear that? Hopefully, a supervisor will come and sort that. Take off. Let's get out of here. Start the chrono. If you can hear it, I think it's through my headphones you can hear that. Manflex, SRS runway. So my apologies for the language there, guys. It's obviously someone on school holidays having fun. That's 100 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav. Autopilot 1 engaged. Guys, if anyone can get me the call sign of that aircraft, I can get rid of them. Thrust climb, climb. I'm going to ignore the TCAS warning. Oh, look at that. He's actually using a Ryanair call sign as well. S-speed, flaps 0, spoilers disarmed. Don't you just love school holidays? Okay, what I'm going to do is I've come off frequency and I'll contact ATC and tell them we've just come off frequency. Okay, heading through the clouds, 17 degrees, don't need the anti-ice just yet. Right, let me turn this back up. So, we've now got no further ATC. Let's continue our climb. We've got flight level 220, thrust climb, open climb, and 220 blue. Ryanair pilots, what are you going to do? I love that they chose to do it as a Ryanair pilot. Oh, I'd have been horrified if that had been an Easyjet pilot. Elliot, sadly, it did ruin the opportunity to hear the takeoff climb buzz, I know. Anyone that wants to report that guy, there you go, Ryanair 346 Papa. I think he's about to lose his VATSIM license. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? So, we're above transition altitude now. Spoilers, flaps, gear. Get the lights off. David, so the packs, you just turn them off. Not all airlines do this, it's just standard operating procedure for some airlines. You turn the packs off and it just makes sure that the engines have literally got all their power. It's better performance for the engines. Roto, Rob, good afternoon, mate. Hope you're doing well. And Jordan B, thank you so much for the Easyjet Sim Pilot membership gift. Go to the Aerial Aviator. Enjoy that, Aerial. Make sure you get yourself in our Discord lounge. Right, let's just get back on on the ball with things, shall we? So we're just past 10,000 feet. So we'll clear out our RadNav page. Don't need those anymore. Flight level 370 is planned. Looks like that's going to be okay. So yeah, we'll head over that. Flight level 370 blue. That's set. Cost index of 0. And secondary flight plan, we'll copy the active. That's done. Oh, there we go. HD, it's you. I could believe that. Cabin crew, you're released. Yeah, seatbelt signs off as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies and debit.
So we're going to keep an eye on the weather down at Jersey. Nice little crosswind to play with, and the chance of the weather just duping us. Hey Digital, great to see you. That's twice in a week, mate. I am honoured. Fantastic to have you back on stream. Oh, what an absolute mess of a departure. I hope VATSIM take good and stringent action on that guy. Unfortunately, only takes one, doesn't it? So as we're climbing out now, away from sort of Edinburgh, where there's quite a bit of traffic and whatnot, which you clearly heard for yourself, the frame rates just get better and better the higher you go up. That obviously makes sense, as it used to happen anyway, but even better now. That's flight level 190. And I don't know if we've got some London control online a little bit later on. They were online earlier, they may have gone off now. It'd be nice if they were. So what do we think? We're going to get in about 15:33 according to the box. That's fine. I'll be in time for my lad's cricket then, so he'll be happy. Wife's taking them out today to go and get ice cream. So I don't feel bad for J-Hog calling around with a milkshake. Chad Vader, good afternoon. Hey Chad, oh mate, thank you so much for your support once again with the £5 super chat. Saying, how's the new Fenix doing today? It seems to be behaving perfectly. You're flying as well tomorrow, aren't you, from Liverpool? Excited you've not flown in such a long time. I know, that was... so when I went to America last weekend, that was the first time I'd flown in about... well, it was before COVID. HD, thanks so much, mate. See you again soon. Yeah, so it was the first time I'd been away and it not been work related since COVID, which was nice. And then family and I are going away again in 2 or 3 weeks. So again, you'll have to do with a week without us. I'm sure you'll manage. Back in, which scenery am I using for Jersey? I use the freeware scenery from VATSIM.to by, is it Super Spud? He's done such good scenery for the UK. So much freeware scenery that he's done. Connor says the Fenix is very glitchy for him since the update. In what way, Connor? Gorgeous day in the UK today, hardly any clouds. Elliot, off to the studio. Yeah, check back in for landing, mate. It could be interesting. Should we see what's happening weather-wise? What are we at? Flight level 250. Let's have a quick look. Oh, I just need to sign out on the FO side. There we go. Let's see. See what's happening there. Lemon Wolf, Cardiff by Super Spud is very good, yeah. Ultra Cool 1981, thank you so much for the follow. Right, what's happening then in Jersey? Here we go. So, yeah, there, look at this visibility is starting to drop now. So, the winds have dropped a little bit, which would make sense if it's starting to get the fog moving in. Fog in the vicinity, few clouds at 0. Is that not the definition of fog? Broken 200. So runway 26, visibility is 2 kilometers to the north. It's got to be one of them, isn't it? Do we ever go? So I've just got an aircraft in front of us on TCAS. Let's just have a quick look where that is. It's about 7,000 feet above us. Lucy Hope Eve says you're going to Jersey from Liverpool with Easyjet in October. Very excited. I think everyone, unless you know you fly regularly, maybe for a living as part of work or something like that. I think ever since COVID, any chance anyone gets to fly, no matter where you're going, it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting at the best of times, but after COVID, when everything was just shut down for so long, it's great now. It really is, and you can understand why people are sort of really looking forward to the trips. Yeah, so at the moment we've got visibility is 3 kilometers. Visibility to the west is 1.4 kilometers. Runway 26 visibility is 2,000 meters, 2 kilometers with no change. Weather light drizzle, fog in the vicinity, few clouds at 0 feet, broken clouds at 200 feet. And the minimums are 200 feet above ground. AGL. So this is going to be a fun approach. Lemon Wolf, you flew to Vega today. It was gusting at 28 knots, standard. Terrible weather, standard. Sim crashed just as the wheels touched down. You're not going there anymore. Now you know how I feel after I last flew there. Oh dear. So my FPS monitor says that we're getting now about 30 FPS. It looks a bit better than that to me, to be honest with you. I don't know how much I trust that because that's an external monitor and it's not very good. And Lemon Wolf, you used to get excited just going to the supermarket when lockdown was on. On Mr. Tinker, thank you so much for the follow, as well to Ultracool1981 and Errol Lyle. Thanks guys, good to see you. Ultracool, seen helpful YouTube videos, didn't know we streamed on Twitch as well. Yes, we do. Thank you for joining us. Right, here's that jet stream. Have a look at it. This is what we were talking about, sort of pre-flight. It's going to take us a bit longer than normal. If we were doing the return journey, of course, then that would be much shorter. There's that traffic that we've got. So we're inbound to Dean Cross then at the moment. The top of climb should be in about 20 miles or so. Even Blakeman, good afternoon. I do sometimes feel for devs, particularly when creating something as complicated as the Fenix, even PMDG, because they're obviously trying to make something for a program which is run by people all over the world on completely different systems. It's not like it was being built for the Xbox, where everyone is exactly the same. Everyone's got slightly different graphics cards, motherboards, RAM. It's all different. Talvin, you're going to be flying flight level 310 at 300 knots in the cruise. That's fine. And David, you're looking out for the contrail as we fly beam leads. Are we going to be passing leads? You might be able to see us because we're high enough. So, yeah, you might be able to see us down there somewhere. This is what my my young lads just started to work out. So, we live in South Yorkshire, but if aircraft are flying high enough, and they're leaving a contrail, that's very important, and they're leaving a contrail, the conditions are right, he can see aircraft that are sort of over Manchester and towards Liverpool, because obviously the higher up the aircraft is, the further the visibility goes. Which he suddenly got very excited about, because that means now we can start to tick off more aircraft in his little book. It's not that little actually, it's huge, but it keeps him busy and keeps his head out of Xboxes and Nintendos, says his father, sat here in front of a screen playing a simulator. We're almost now, we've just changed direction, we're almost flying straight on into that headwind. So airspeed 445 at that ground speed, 376. So I think have a look down there, we should be able to see the Pennines. Down there, where's Manchester? I think we're a bit too far away actually, so the Pennines will be will be down there, because we're going to fly straight over Liverpool. So Liverpool's going to be sort of over here. We've then got the Pennines, the Woodhead Pass, that will be down there. We're just over the Lake Districts then at the moment. Lemon, is he interested in flights? I think he's a bit, I mean he's only 8, so he's probably a bit young to get into flight sim sort of properly. I'm trying to think how old I was. I was probably about 10 or 11 when I sort of got hold of flight sim 95. Now, have you just seen the turbulence starting to rock the aircraft a bit there? What did we say in the briefing right at the start? And this is testament to how good Microsoft Flight Simulator is.
Line 3 Echo Delta, status descent from 360 to flight level 260.
So we said the shear rate was the highest at about 20 minutes, and that's where you could just get a little bit of aircraft rocking. And looking at that timer, it's 20 minutes and 30 seconds now, and you just get in that little bit of turbulence. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I don't know how SimBrief get all their data and their information, but that's always bob on. So I've compared SimBrief operational flight plans with real-world operational flight plans through the airline in orange, of course. Had the two side by side. They are identical, so the layout is exactly the same. So they've done that brilliantly. And I had a sort of a live operational flight plan. And then I went to SimBrief, created exactly the same flight plan, same aircraft, same flight routing, destination, etc. And I think down to the fuel that was required, there was 10 kilograms difference, and the mileage was spot on. So you think, well, you're not going to get much better than that. SimBrief is just so good. Right, let me just see what's happening here. We've obviously got aircraft, it's about 1,000 feet above us. It's on the same route as us. It's just down there, look. Just got to be careful we're not too close. Technically we could get up to flight level 390 just to ensure that we're okay. Although we are above them and we're still climbing, so we're going to be fine. Terry, that's my mate from earlier. What, the one that just trashed the audio on VATSIM? It's definitely not him. He's ignored. He won't appear on my radar ever again. Now it's Talvin, that I believe. Ferez, version 2. This is the first full flight I've done with it. Obviously, as many of you guys know, I'm lucky enough to be to work with the Fenix team. So when they're doing updates and such like that, so I'm sort of privy to be able to fly the builds as they're doing them. And oh my god, the amount of builds that they have turned out. And I think, I know you guys have all been waiting for an update for so long, since November last year. And how they don't get infuriated by the sort of comments that we see bounded about oh, Fenix is dead, they're not doing anything, it's been ages, they're probably having a rest. I can guarantee you that is absolutely not the case, because they, at times, they can push out 2 or 3 different builds a day for the testers to go and fly. Now the testers are based all around the world, of course, so that they it's pretty much a 24-hour operation, but and remember what you guys have just had to do when you downloaded this version 2 of the Fenix. You had to update all your air cycles, you had to recalibrate all your thrust levers, your flaps spoilers, your flaps settings, all that stuff. They have to do that every single time they install a new version to test. So it's like 2-3 times a day sometimes. They work so hard. As Macalt Star. Macalt Cruise. So let's ping that. There we go. And we can have a look at the performance page. Cost index back up to 4. There we go. Erlen, I'm going to have to sleep soon. It's night time in your country. No problem. Thank you so much for being here. Ultra Cool 1981. I don't fly for very easy, no. Or virtually easy. No. Robin, I kind of like the clean cabin look. I liked the dirty one as well, though, to be honest. Now, let me just try something. That's not quite fixed yet. Okay, so doesn't look like we've broken anything. That's good. Nothing out of the ordinary on the overhead either. That's fine as well. Velix, we can't do an auto landing to Jersey. It's not equipped. No. Hey, J-Hog. I'm still supping my milkshake. Thank you very much. Has anyone come across any bugs in the Fenix? Version 2? I've just got a message there, haven't we? Let's just see what that is. Easy Ops, 28 minutes delay. Yeah, okay, we're late. I'll deal with that later. So let's just have a quick check at what the weather is doing. Let's have a look at Bristol. Check that. I also want to have a look at Gatwick. Check that. I'll just get the latest Jersey weather as well. So let's see. Bristol, that's wide open. That's fine. That looks like a great place to go if we can't get in at Jersey. Gatwick, also wide open. Jersey, still the same here, isn't it? Because this is what makes that interesting. There you go. So, the decision altitude is 200 feet above the ground. And at the moment, there's few clouds at 0 feet, broken 200 feet. Fog in the vicinity. Now the real question is, can we have a go? Are we allowed to start this approach? I'll let you guys answer this in the chat. Are we allowed to start this approach with weather like that? Are we good to give it a go, or is it a no-go? We need to go somewhere else. Oh, there you go. Now you know a true pilot's in. What's the visibility? Of course, because it's the visibility that's all that we're interested in. So the visibility is reported at the moment for runway 26, which is the runway we're landing on, to be 2 kilometers with no changes. So it's currently 2 kilometers with no changes. The runway visual range for starting the approach has to be 550 meters, of which it is well above that. Now, that's not to say that we will get in, because that just means we're legal to start the approach. So if we start the approach, but we can't see that runway by the time we get to an altitude of 472, then we're going around. Yeah, Matthew, we can shoot that approach all day long, absolutely. Now here's the next question then. So what if let's say the runway visual range was, let's call it 750, as it is at some airfields. Let's say the runway visual range was 750, but the visibility in the METAR was reported to be only 500 meters. So here it says runway visual range 750, but the METAR is 500 meters. Can we start an approach? I'll let you guys answer that again whilst I just see what the cabin crew want.
Hi,
hello.
Captain. Would you like a drink, tea, coffee or water?
Oh yeah, I'll have a water please.
Of course. I'll go and get it for you now. Just give me a few minutes.
Oh brilliant. Sounds like they're not too busy with all the passengers today. Nick, Speedbird 464, resubbing for 7 months in a row now at Tier 1. Nick, that is awesome. Thank you so much for it. It says, good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. Oh, Nick, you've missed all the fun. When you need to rewatch the stream later and watch us depart out of out of Edinburgh. Although I do apologise for the language for anyone that does go back and do that. Not my language, I hasten to add. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Your drinks are ready. They're in the storage area, so feel free to collect them whenever you're free.
Okay, that's great, thank you.
No problem.
I mean, I've got to go and get them myself. I prefer Captain Relish. He brought it straight to me. Yeah, so what was my my question? Yeah, could we actually start an approach if the RVR, runway visual range, minimums were 750 metres, but the METAR was reporting 500 metres? Can we start an approach? Yes, we can, but there's a big caveat to that. We could only go low, we could only go down as low as what altitude? There you go, there's the next question. Keep you guys on your toes. It's also good for me to keep reminding me of this stuff. So we could start the approach, we could shoot for it, but when would we have to stop? At what altitude? And Digital Flight Day, wait, thank you so much, supporting the channel with 5 Easyjets in Pilot Channel and membership gifts as well. Digital, awesome, thank you. So welcome to Mark, Michael Hall, Aviator, Sav9188, and Kevin, who are now channel members. Amazing, thank you so much. J-Hug, you left me just as the fun began. Nice chilled out Friday, that's what we want. So Digital, mate, thank you so much once again for your support there. And Nick Burrows is celebrating 29 months now of channel membership. It'll be 3 years before you know it, Nick. Of course, on YouTube as well. Definitely go back and look, plus I need to watch your trip rant from yesterday. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen that, guys, after the stream's finished, if you came in late on this stream, go watch the departure from this stream today out of Edinburgh for something completely different. Parental advisory is advised, however. And then the flight that I did yesterday out of Gatwick, when we got up to cruise, I told the story of what happened when I went to America for a weekend, last weekend. As Nick quite rightly says, it probably was a bit of a rant. But hopefully you'll find that entertaining. So just going back to the question I posed earlier, if RVR was 750 and the METAR was reporting that the runway visual range was 500 metres, visibility was 500 metres, could we start the approach? Yes, we could, but if we can't see anything by 1,000 feet, you can't go any lower. You have to stop, so like the approach ban. Now, you might get lucky, you know, some pilots decide, you know what, well, let's just try it. We've got enough fuel, let's go down, give it a go, see if we can see anything at 1,000 feet. And if they can, great, let's get in. If not, then you've just wasted your time. But sometimes it's worth a shout. Matthew, just wait until you do, until you dig into RVR requirements for Cat 2, Cat 3 fail, passive fail, operational, or single and dual in Airbus speak. They've changed it, I think, now, Matthew. It's now, oh God, what do they call it now? It's, yeah, so obviously they still have fail passive and fail operational with a single and dual, but they now call it, when you're entering the decision height, it's an auto land with decision height and it's an auto land without decision height. I don't know why they've changed it, but it could be a SOP thing. Gamma, are we landing or diverting? We're going to give it a go. Technically, we're going to do both. Well, we're going to land, definitely. Whether we land at Jersey is another question. I think the terrain map seems a bit better in this update as well. I like that. Matthew posing the question, can anyone tell me why a Cat 3 fail operational or dual doesn't require a touchdown zone RVR, whilst a fail passive single does? Well, is that not because if you are fail operational, you're going to continue anyway, even if the visibility is down, you've got the aircraft's capable. Of course, if it's fail passive, which means that you're not going to continue doing an auto land, then you're going to need to be able to see that zone. Back in 173, if I remember a while back, you tried to get into Jersey and had to divert. Did we? I don't remember that. Both of you on Twitch, any settings for the side stick and things? It seems sensitive. Linear, that is what the guys at Fenix are saying, that's what they designed it to, so it should just be linear, I think. Chad, you're talking about Vega when, yeah, in reality I should have gone round, but I just didn't have time, so I thought we'd get in and see what happened. Turned out to be a bad decision. Get there-itis, sadly also something that happens in real life. Matthew, yeah, it says exactly, fail passive requires you to see the runway at 50 RA to continue, whereas fail operational doesn't require you to see anything. I think it's just learning the terms as well, isn't it? Passive and operational. I don't find them to be that intuitive. I don't know if it's just a French translation of a better word, but fail passive is, you know, pass, move on, forget it. Fail operational means you're still operational, you can go. Perhaps there would have been a couple of other words in the English language we could have chosen to perhaps make that a bit more intuitive. Pedro, I don't use Volanta, no. Simmer, can anyone help us with the autopilot in the A320X? We can have a go, Simmer, certainly. Ask away. There's plenty, either myself or there's plenty of people in the chat who are well versed in the FS as well to help you out with that. Okay, let's start setting some things up for the box then. We've got Bristol just down there. Let's grab some info for the arrival. So, let's just see what the plan looks like. Yeah, so that's the plan that's in there. Also see the decel point is now in a much better place. Realistically, I think what we're going to do though is we're not going to fly that procedure. We'll vector ourselves in. So we'll vector ourselves down here, probably just break off, come around here, fly downwind, and then base turn and get ourselves aligned from the centre fix 26, rather than going sort of near it and flying a teardrop approach in. Makes a bit more sense to do that. Might be a bit quicker as well. So that's going to be the plan. Let's have a look. So set up the box, then we'll do the brief. 2,000 feet is our platform altitude. So if we look at sort of intercepting that at about 3,000 feet for the glide slope, what we're going to do is we'll go to the fixers page, enter in Echo Golf Juliet Juliet, runway 26. Stick a 9-mile radius around that, and that then should, where we go? Yeah, you can just see it. There's a 9-mile radius around there. So basically, if we get 3,000 feet as we intersect that radius, that will be good for the glide slope, and that'll all be fine. So that's done. Radnav page. Let's set that up. We've just got the Jersey. JS YVOR. Pop that in. Performance page, fine. Echo Golf Juliet Juliet runway 26. Second flight plan, copy the active. Alright, box is set up. Let me just grab the latest weather. I'm just going to use this for that. There we go, so that hasn't changed. So let's do the brief then. So the weather for our arrival, visibility is 3 kilometers down to 1.4 to the west. That shouldn't affect us. Runway 26 where we're coming in is currently 2,000 meters, no change. We've got light rain, drizzle, fog is in the vicinity, few clouds at 0, broken 200, and it's 1919 with a QNH of 1020. Let's just go and set that now. Another newish SOP that's coming. So that's done. So aircraft is still fully serviceable. That's all working apart from weather radar, of course. No times to affect the arrival. Threats to be aware of. Yeah, well, the biggest one's obviously going to be the weather, isn't it? It's the visibility. In fact, we've got. I didn't take note of what the winds were just then. What were they? Winds 230 at 6 and varying. Okay, so it is it could be a decent. It could be a crosswind. Not a very strong one though, but we'll see what that's like when we get there. There was a chance that those winds were going to be a little bit stronger, but obviously if the visibility is dropping so clearly, those winds aren't very strong at all. You tend not to get fog and winds at the same time because the winds just blow the fog away. So that is, yeah, that's our main threat, the weather. So let's talk about the approach and what potentially we're going to be looking out for then on this approach. So we're going to come in ILS 26 and it's the scary arrival. It is indeed. We're going scary 1 Juliet arrival. We'll get down towards the Jersey VOR, which actually just quick look. Jersey via. In fact, no. Do you know what? We're going to vector ourselves in. We're not going to mess about with that. So we've not got, unless there's ATC on, in which case they'd vector us in anyway. So the plan will be to come in, get down, we'll break off, then go out on downwind, right base turn, and then come in for a ILS approach. Runway 26, platform altitude is 2000. It's a normal 3-degree approach. Runway visual range is 550 meters. We're legal start the approach. The decision altitude is 472. I need to fill that in the box in a minute, actually. So 472. Now, there's a good chance we might not see it. What are we looking for? We're looking for a light. We're just looking for a single light that shows us the centre line of the runway. If we can't see that by 472, it's a go-around, and we'll brief the go-around thoroughly as well in a moment. Assuming, of course, that we have got in, then what happens next? Well, we'll vacate at Delta, or for all the way to the end. It's going on to Bravo, and then obviously left turns, backtracking, and then we'll take whatever stand appeals to us once we're there. Just while I was doing the brief there, Nick, Speedbird464, gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the Easyjet Simpala community. Thank you so much, Nick. That is awesome. Welcome, Fesbearer, Duran, Toby Sir, 1123, and Geralda 8. Amazing, guys. Thank you for being here, and even more amazing, Nick. Thank you so much. That is awesome for awesome support of the channel. Thank you so much. So let's have a look then at the go-around, what we're going to do if we don't see those lights. If we don't see them, then the go-around's nice and straightforward, actually. So we climb straight ahead, up to 3,000 feet as I missed approach, and then it's a left turn hitting 180, and then as directed with a max speed of 210. Now, if we just have a look at that, so that might be all done in flaps 1, depending on clean config speeds when we get down there. Let me just fill this in now. So QNH was 1020. Temperature was, I've completely forgot. Hang on, let's get that back on screen. So temperature is 19, same as the dew point. Winds are 230 at 6. Transit altitude is 5,000 feet. The Barrow minimums are 472. And we're done. And we're obviously going to be doing a full full flaps landing, not config 3. We don't want to speed up because the runway's not that long. So yeah, it's going to be a fully config landing when we get down there. So that's that done. Just before I have a look at the go around and fully brief that then, you wouldn't, mate. Thank you so much for your $5 New Zealand saying, hi, any idea why my cabin calls aren't working? Ecam works fine, just no cabin ding noise. Oh, I have no idea about the ding noise. I mean, it's actually the first time ever I've pressed these buttons today in this aircraft since the update. So, I don't know if anyone else has had similar dealings with the calls, but yeah, so there we go. Sorry, I can't help you with that. See, they've not fixed that though. I'm messing around with the approach. The pressure page comes up and goes a bit too lolly. I think that the team are aware of that though, so they'll sort that when they can. Yeah, so just have a look at the go-around then, and then we need to make some decisions. So the go-around is straight out, and at 3,000 feet then it's a left turn heading 180, max speed 210 knots, that's fine. And then what are we going to do? Well, at that point then, I would be inclined to head to the Jersey VOR, enter the hold, and then we're going to make some decisions. We'll see what fuel we've got. At the moment, we've got 5 tons of fuel, which we're burning 2 tons, we're burning out 2 tons an hour at the moment. So we've got a couple of hours fuel left in the tanks, which is fine. We've got more than that, actually. But it means that if we do need to go somewhere, what are we going to do? We could technically circle for 20 minutes, see if the weather improves, and then have another go. Or we could just sack it off and go, it's not going to happen. Let's go to Bristol, let's go to Gatwick, and see what's going to be the better option for us and the passengers. So the winds aren't strong. Maybe I should just take them to Southampton, then they can get a boat. But we'll see if we can get in, then we'll make the decisions. We've got plenty of fuel to play with those, so one thing just to double check, sort of like the magic number figure, we have to commit to somewhere at 2.6. So when we start dropping towards 3 tons, then we really need to start making that decision. And the weather at Gatwick and the weather at Bristol is fine. So both of those are available to us. And you wouldn't, thank you as well for another follow-up donation as well of $2 New Zealand dollars. Awesome, thank you so much, guys. After that milkshake, I'm feeling a bit thirsty. Just give me 30 seconds. I'm just going to quickly go and grab a drink, and I'll be back in the flight deck in just a second, and then we'll see if we can get into Jersey. Right, guys, back with you. See, it just looks gorgeous here, doesn't it? Is that Exeter? Not Exeter. Cardiff. Is that Cardiff Airport down there, I think? Looks like it. Gavin, can you make a McDo on a tablet just like the fly-by-wire? You can if you have an app called Simbox. That is payware, but you can do it. There's a video review on the channel for that. So we've got a top of descent in what, about 40, 50 miles? Might make a little PA to the passengers. I think they're all happy at the moment. I do occasionally keep looking at this now. I like the new interface of self-loading cargo. It looks, you know, quite nice, quite neat. So I think they're all happy. Alpha Leonis, mate, that is incredible. Thank you so much for your 50 Swedish krona supporting the channel there. Asking what causes approach mode to automatically activate, when should you activate it, and what does it do? Okay, so what does it do? I'm going to start with that. What it does when the approach... now, actually, before I do answer this, Alpha, there it is, thank you so much. Before I answer this, do you mean approach mode, or do you mean approach phase? Because there are two different things. So approach mode is activated up here, and this is basically when you turn that on, that tells the autopilot, if it's turned on, to align and capture the localizer and the glide slope. So the approach mode is basically your localizer capture button, and then we'll take you down the localizer and the glide slope to the runway. It never automatically activates, and it always has to be done manually. When should you activate it? When air traffic control have cleared you for the approach. But I thought you might mean approach phase, which is why I just wanted to confirm. So the approach phase then, that is done by hitting the performance button just here, and then here it is, activate the approach phase. Now what does that do? I'll start with that. So when that is activated, that, if you are in managed speed, it only works if you're in managed speed, and that's very important to remember. So if you're in selected speed, you know, if we were like that, then pressing that button would do absolutely nothing. So leave it in managed speed. When you activate the approach phase, the aircraft will then slow down to its green dot speed. Now green dot speed here is around 222. We can find out what it is actually if we have a quick look. 224 at the moment. So, and it would slow down to green dot speed. What is green dot speed? Green dot speed is the best lift to drag ratio, so it's very fuel efficient speed. It's your fuel efficient clean speed with no flaps or slats extended. So the moment you activate it and you're in managed speed up here, your aircraft will start to slow down to green dot. Now the moment you deploy flaps 1, the aircraft then, as long as this has been activated, will start slowing down to S speed. When you then go to flaps 2 and 3, it'll start slowing down to F speed, and then finally the VAP speed, the final approach speed, 135 as it is now. All of this done in managed mode. Now, when does it happen automatically? It does activate automatically when you pass over, can I see it on here? When you pass over the D cell point, which is just there. Probably not the best way to show you that. 1 second. So if you have forgotten to do it, the moment you pass over the D cell point and fly over that, it will automatically arm. So the moment you pass that, you'll automatically start slowing down to green dot, and then S speed, and then F speed, and finally the VAP speed. So that's what it does. When should you activate it? That is another question. For me, what I tend to do, and I know a few pilots that do this, when you pass 10,000 feet, I tend to pull speed, if I haven't done so already, select 250 knots, which that's the maximum speed you can fly below 10,000 feet anyway, and once you're in selected speed, I then activate the approach phase. At the same time, I usually turn on the LS, the landing system, as well, to bring up the diamonds on the primary flight display. And all that happens at about 10,000 feet for me, usually. What you need to remember then is you must activate the approach phase, because if you don't, when you push for managed speed, when you're on final, if you haven't activated the approach, you'll be sort of 6 miles from touching down, you push for managed speed, and the aircraft engines spool up and it targets 250 knots because you haven't activated the approach phase. Like we haven't all done that before. I've done it, and I know it's been done in real life. So hopefully that answers the question, Alpha. Fingers crossed. Let me know if there's anything you want me to elaborate on. Okay, PA time in my best PA voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently cruising at 37,000 feet, and we'll be looking to start our descent in about 10 minutes time. We are running a little bit behind today, I'm afraid, and we also have reports of some pretty poor weather ahead at Jersey, but we will do our best to get you there, and of course get you there safely. Once I have any more information, I will let you know when we're in the descent, and please pay attention to our cabin crew, and if you need any help, speak to them, and I'm sure they'll be able to assist you further. Thank you. Keep them happy. Talvin, info, horrible weather at Jersey. Yeah, you were ahead of me, weren't you? This is where you get P-Rep reports, pilot reports. No, Ninja, why don't you use the tablet that's included in the Airbus? I do. Absolutely. I just don't use it on there. I tend to use it so you guys can see it as well when I'm streaming. It's just a bit easier on here, isn't it? So, yeah, here it is. It's a good chance, actually, to just see if there has been any updates to the weather in Jersey. which indeed there has. Oh, shoot. Right, I'm going to update that and we'll rebrief it. So there has been a weather change in Jersey. So what's happening now? Wind is 280 at 4. So that's dropped a little bit. Wind's 280 at 4, so it winds from the right a little bit, but it's varying 240 and 310. Visibility is now 600 meters. That is 50 meters above. Runway 26, actually, which is where we're landing, the visibility, the runway visual range is 550 meters plus. Light drizzle, fog, scattered at 100 feet, broken. Scattered at 0 feet, broken, 100 feet, dew point 19, QNH is 1019. Do you think we're going to do this, guys? Do you think we're going to get in? I think it's looking iffy. Bear in mind we can't auto land. It's not set up for that. Right, that's our top of descent then as well. So let's start heading down. Thrust side low descent 110 blue. Simon's 600 meters visibility is loads will do great. Simon, it's not. It's not. And there's a legal limit. So at the moment, the visibility for runway 26 is 550 meters. That is right on the legal limit that we are about that we can go with. If it drops below that, we can't do the approach. Well, we could have a go, but we'd have to stop at 1,000 feet. So at the moment, we are legal and happy to start the approach. Chances of us getting in? How do you think we'll do? There's a way to run a poll, isn't there, here on YouTube? I don't know how to do it. I'll have a yes/no poll to see how we think we're going to get in. I don't know how to do that. I'm not clever enough. It will be interesting to see what the performance is like as well, with all those clouds. Talvin also says it's horrible. He's just about to try and land there. Digital Flight Technique, thank you so much for your $5 Canadian donation, saying, I just want to tell you good luck, we're all counting on you. Yeah. Okay, chat, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Just answer for me. Quick answer. Are we going to get in? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are we going to get in? And it looks so nice, doesn't it, here? We're just going over the channel, and it looks beautiful. So what we got? No, yes, yes, I, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, barely, yes, barely. What's that mean? Yes, yes. Lee, can you sit on the fence? You get splinters in your app if you do that. Intercom. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just checking to see if everything is okay.
Everything's fine here. We may end up diverting because the weather's not looking great at Jersey, but we'll let you know if when we're having more information.
Great. Call me if you need anything.
You see, it all depends as well just how well the weather is simulated here, isn't it? Right, we've got a company message. What's that? This I know what this is going to be. This is going to be very optimistic. Provisionally being assigned stand 6. Provisionally, as in, if you manage to make it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again from the cockpit. As you may have noticed, we've begun our descent into Saint-Helier. We should be arriving in around 20 minutes depending on local air traffic, and I will shortly be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. You'll next hear from me after landing, so I'll wish you a good afternoon, and once again I'll speak to you in a short while. Thank you. What happens when the captain needs the toilet? I don't think the approach is going to be a roller coaster ride. I think the approach is going to be straightforward, stable, not bumpy in the slightest. But we just not might see anything. So the magic number is going to be 472. If I can't see anything by 472, we're going around. Connor, what's the wind there like? Negligible. You know, the winds are fine. That's why it's so foggy, because there's no wind. Looking where I'm flying towards, you can pretty much see what we're going to be heading into, actually, doesn't it? Digital, every lag helps me like make this landing. I wish that were true. Stubby, will you be late for the fish and chips? Well, that depends. Do you want Jersey fish and chips or do you want Bristol fish and chips? Hey Warwick Learning, how you doing, mate? It's been a while since I've seen you on here. Great to have you in for this this landing / diversion. Joe, real men don't need alternates. No, just real pilots. Okay, we're on Unicom. We're going to just make a quick call. Jersey traffic easy 305 is 48 miles to the north, inbound the Jersey VOR for the ILS approach runway 26. Of course, if this was a place which had a Cat 2, Cat 3 ILS system, we'd be fine. Katie Pilot, how you doing? Oh, I'm glad you're here. You can FO and monitor stuff. CNR was, I want to say, 2.6. I'm going to double check that now. I know at 3 ton I was going to start thinking, you know, we need to sort something out. Yeah, 2.6. So we're thinking Bristol, we're thinking Gatwick. Gatwick is nominated. But we've got enough in the tanks to get up to Bristol if need be. It's just not quite as busy, is it? Katie Pilot can do the hard work now. I'll just monitor the passengers and make PA calls. Right, we're nicely below profile now, so let's just we'll just continue that descent down. 3000 blue, local QNH is now set 1019. I'll give that another minute or two, then we'll get the belt signs on, just before we head into all this bubbly stuff. Hashtag how come the clouds look amazing? I've not done anything to them, it's purely default. As I think, there isn't even a cloud mod available, I don't think, for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They are set to Ultra, though. Jimmy, you need to watch out for the balloon fiesta in Bristol. That is true, I heard that on the radio this morning, and I was going to have a look at Bristol to see what NOTAMs were, what the NOTAMs were like. Imagine that actually taking place in Microsoft Flight Simulator as like a little bit of an event. That'd be awesome. So yeah, fuel what we got. We've got 4.5 tons. The problem with the forecast here in Jersey is I don't think it's going to get any better. So we could sit there at the Jersey VOR and circle for 20 minutes and we'd still be fine with the fuel, but that might just be 20 minutes wasted. The trend appears to be getting worse, not better. VIP Freddy on YouTube says, I'm in trouble with some problems with the airport ground, like it disappears. Oh no. that is a problem. If it disappears, it's definitely a problem. I used to get that sometimes when the network would drop out for some reason. You'd get disconnected from the network and suddenly you'd then just fall into the abyss. No fun. I had a couple of wrecked streams thanks to that. Oh my word, there's now all kinds of arguments going off on Unicom. VATSIM has been a bit of a cluster mess today, hasn't it? Tony, is the Fenix performance update better? Let me read that again. Is the Fenix performance better after the update? Many people are saying exactly that, so yes, I think that is indeed the case. Okay, let's get you all strapped in. Okay, let's run the approach checklist then. So Barra FQ is 1019, seatbelt signs are on, minimums are 472, auto brake, medium, and EFB is stowed. And I'm going to do what I preached earlier, so that's the approach phase activated, landing system turned on, India Delta Delta is identified. KT, so if we get 1,000 feet and the RVR's now dropped to below 550, what do we do, Captain? We stop. The approach ban comes into place. If it's below the RVR, then we can't go any lower than 1,000 feet. We were chatting about this a little bit earlier. So the RVR in Bristol, the RVR in Bristol's fine. The RVR in Jersey is right on the limit. I think it is was it 550 or it might have been 6? No, it is. It's 550. It is 550. No one believes you for a moment, Katie. Right, well the good news is clean speed is now 207 as we burnt a bit of fuel, so I'm not having to worry about not cleaning the aircraft up, because in the go around it was max speed was 210 and clean's 207, so we'll just fly at clean speed. Right, just to rest that rate of descent a little bit because we're doing fine profile-wise at the minute. In fact, how many miles have we got to go? We are going to break off and make right-hand traffic. We're currently 23 miles away. That's if we flew the full thing. We're actually only 8 miles away, as you can see there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull heading.
Jersey traffic Easy 334 is landing runway 26. Jersey traffic.
Good luck to them landing. Hope they get in. Okay, so we're now flying downwind. Jersey traffic Easy 305 is currently 7 miles to the north of Jersey, now flying downwind for the approach ILS runway 26. Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing. Still quite warm at the moment, it's about 21 degrees. Okay, manage the speed, start reducing to green dot. Thrust idle open descent and 3000 blue. Hello.
Hi, Captain. I was wondering if you'd like anything to eat. Anything from the menu, or maybe a snack.
Now is not the time.
No problem. Give me a call if you change your mind.
I might do if we end up diverting. Okay, we'll make the base turn then. So, let's go flaps 1, speed's checked. Flaps 1. Speed 180. You can see the fog, can't you? It's basically this low-level grey stuff here. It's then I was looking at it originally. I thought it might be the channel, but clearly it's not. So we just need to see a light. We just need to see one of those approach lights, remember. Now, platform altitude is actually 2,000 feet, so I can wind that down to 2 now, so 2,000 blue. Edinburgh control, it's self-loading cargo. I've just heard an aircraft going around. That doesn't fill me with confidence. Oh, I don't want to turn that down. I don't want to turn the terrain down. There we go. Okay, tidied up the flight plan, extended runway centerline. Let's just change that. VS 700 now. All glide slope lock blue, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. And GIS is not going to be required. In some respects, it might actually be better if it were dark, because the light of the approach lights might shine through. It's going to be more difficult to see in the daylight. We've also got the threat that the sun is in the west at the moment, as the sun's starting to drop down low in the sky now, so that's going to be in the way. There's that aircraft that's just gone around. Lock start. So we'll have a look what it's like when we get down there. If it's rubbish and we go around, we can have a collective conflab as to where we're going to go. We'll put it to the vote. Right, what's that? 7.5 miles to run. Here comes the glide. Flaps 2, speeds checked, flaps 2. Hello?
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured for landing.
Okay,
Don't worry.
thank you.
If you let me know when you're ready to land, I'll make sure I get seated along with the rest of the crew.
You can be seated now, please.
No problem.
Glide slope start. Mr. Approach altitude 3,000 feet. Set. Manage speed, gear down. Spoilers armed. Flaps 3. Flaps full. So I'm highly anticipating this to be a go-around. Landing checklist. So the cabin secured, go-around altitude is 3,000 feet. He can memo landing no blue. Let's just quickly rebrief the go-around. So it's straight out on runway track, and then at 3,000 feet left turn, and we can fly it clean 206. Can anybody see anything? Wow. Wow. Don, you thought you put the nose light to taxi, not take off when landing. Different airline SOPs do different things, but yeah, for the ones we're following, it's on for both. 2.5 miles. So the lowest I can leave the autopilot on is, oh, memory serves, it's 160 feet. But we're not going to get down that low.
$500.
It's not looking good, guys. We've got the sun in our eyes, scattered through the lights. I can just see the ground.
100 above.
Lights.
Minimum.
Continue. Don't like this.
50, 40,
look of
30,
this.
20. Retard.
That was interesting, but we're down. So we've got spoilers deployed, first green. Decel. Reverse is idle, manual brakes. The attitude of the aircraft then didn't look great, did it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However,
I think we got lucky there.
You remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used.
Jersey traffic, KZ334 is established, wireless runway 26, Jersey traffic.
In the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lock.
And for traffic report, approaching Jersey Easy 305, we've just made it in with the approach lights becoming visible in the last 100 before minimums.
On behalf of the captain and the crew,
Hey, Gav.
Good luck.
For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information.
Well, for one time that wasn't me, but hello.
Twitter or Easyjet.
Anyway, guys, we're down. We made it. What I'm really annoyed at is the fact I forgot to set the replay going, but never mind. I did feel like it planted to the runway a lot better following the update. So that was nice. That was nice. And when I had to decrab just a little bit, that worked really nicely. There was no wing drop or anything daft like that going on. I had full control over the aircraft when I needed it. We had the auto land red light come on, presumably because they thought I was going to get all the way down and leave it in. Obviously I wasn't. We got rid of that, so that was fine. But we got down. That was fun. The passengers will never know how tricky that was. Quite right, Nick. Quite right too. Winter, which program did I use to predict the bad weather? I didn't. I had a look at... there's a great little app you can get on your phone called Windy. And I really do like that because it shows you what the current status of airports is. So it's definitely worth taking a look at that. What was the touchdown rate anyway in then, guys? I mean, it's Jersey, so we're not going for the softest touch in the world because the runway's not great. Oh, if it was about 250 or below, we'll take that every day of the week, particularly in Jersey. So if anyone wants to have a go at an interesting place to land at the moment, I'd recommend this place. Gamma, what were the G's for the landing? I can find out if you just let us taxi in. Surprised it's not raining at all. How close is she going to get me to her? Look like I'm going to knock her off. There we go. Okay, parking brake's done. Engine 1, I'll shut that down. Let's just get a bit of bleed air on. There we go. Engine 1 shut down. Engine 2 shut down. Seatbelt signs. Hello, what's going on with that aircraft? That's below 10. Beacon
Ground
off.
cockpit.
And go ahead. I'll let you have a look at landing in a moment then.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Yeah, loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. 5 over 5. Roger.
There we go.
Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Okay,
Jersey
thanks.
traffic, EV334 is vacated, runway 26, Jersey traffic.
Sounds like another aircraft's just got in as well, so it is doable. So there you are. Actually, well, to be honest, landing almost looked a bit soft for what we needed at this airport, but we managed to get in with appalling weather.
Traffic, flyby
So,
195, pushing back.
yeah, really happy with that. And the performance, of course, of the aircraft helped all the way, so that was fine. Cabin crew, clear to disarm doors and begin deboarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, your portable electronic devices must not be used until you are inside the airport. When disembarking, please take...
Excellent. Well then, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this. This was the first flight as well that we've done on stream with the Fenix aircraft. So, really glad you were here to enjoy that. Fenix version 2, of course. And whatever you're doing now for the rest of your Friday, let's get rid of that. Hope whatever it is you're doing, it's going to be a good one. We've got our passengers safely to Jersey. Sadly, they've got some rubbish weather to now contend with. But yeah, the only thing I'm going to go back and have a look at the replay, sort of like watch the stream again, just to see what sort of approach angle we had there. It looked almost like we weren't nose up at all, which is very strange. Not seen that before, and of course it looks worse, doesn't it? I've spoken about this before on a sort of a 2D screen. You don't have a peripheral vision, so if you are nose level, it actually looks on here like you are nose down. You're not, of course. So always worth in the simulator checking the primary flight display and see what attitude your aircraft is at. But yeah, other than that, it flew really well. Can't wait to do more flights now with this aircraft. So guys, if you are on your way out, then please do hit that like button as you go. It does make a massive difference to the channel. I can't stress that enough. It really does. So if you haven't already done that as you're unstrapping and leaving the aircraft, then please do that. We'll just do one more answer from the intercom. Hello.
Hello, Captain. We're all done back here. Everyone's offloaded.
That was quick. Thank you.
Give me a call if you need anything else.
Right, self-loading cargo's happy. I am getting to grips with this new self-loading cargo. I think it's quite nice now. It seems to be doing a really good job. So guys, whatever you're doing this weekend, hope you have a great one. I'm not sure if we're going to get any streams in this weekend or not. Of course, if you're on our Discord server, you'll be the first to hear about it there. But if I don't, then whatever you're doing, have a great weekend. A massive thanks to all of you who have come along today. A special thanks to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep. As always, Easyjet Sim Pilot members as well. Thank you so much, guys. Come and fly to Jersey. It's great fun today. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all again very soon. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.